Okay, let's try this again. So to start this curved, angled cylinder, I guess this is what you would call it. Basically, we start out with one that's wider for this one right here, and then this is going to be pretty much the one that we're actually going to meet that bottom one up to. And I've got a copy of it still on my clipboard here, and if I stop it low, it's going to have more of an angle this way, but the higher it goes, the more of an angle this way it's going to go. And depending on how far out and how wide you want the actual circle to be at the very top of it is dependent on what circle you actually use for the one that you put up high. I'm using a pretty wide one at the bottom one because I want a wide base, and I want it to come up into almost like an hourglass shape like this. So I'm using a smaller one up at the top there. So getting this pretty much lined back up to where it was before, I'm going to bring this up pretty high to somewhere about like that. So literally I'm going from a really wide base to a really thin base at the very top. And with that, let's see here. And Raven Mad is the one that actually came up with this, and he happens to be here right now, which is awesome. So if I screw it up, we can get him to do it, right? All right, so we're going to start out with a widened line tool here at the bottom, and we're going to go right to the very corner, and we're going to click there, and we're going to go to the very top, and we're going to take that corner and meet it up here like so. And we're going to do the same thing on this side from here up to the very top, and we're going to meet that corner with that corner. You can see the kind of an angle we have kind of set up here, and it is actually easier if you've got two really big ones that you're kind of working with, but I wanted you to actually be able to see the angle in this, so I use a smaller one at the very top. Alright, so we're going to rinse and repeat here, and I'm going to go pretty much right in the center, so we're about there. And I'm going to go up to the very top. If I can find a flat portion I can connect to. There we go. Something about like that. Maybe a little bit further in. About like that. And we're going to hit the checkbox. The next, we're going to basically go right in the half point in between the center point and the outside point. We're going to repeat the process. I'm going to try to get this thing lined up here. Something about like that. Rinse and repeat for the other side. And if my character will stop running in the wind there. Alright. Kick it back over to about halfway. So now we have an almost curved shape kind of going on here. And with that, after we get this section kind of pretty much done, we're going to grab the whole entire thing. At this
Mr. Bulky?
Deetra, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to grab that whole entire section. I'm going to copy it. paste it, rotate it, and line it up right with the other one. Rotate. See if we can get this all lined up. All right. So we have the whole entire shape pretty much created here. All we have to do now is select the whole entire thing and then smooth it. I really wish they fixed that running on a wall thing. It makes my character bounce up and down all the time. Alright. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to lift it up off the ground just a little bit so I'm not actually touching the bottom. And that way it'll kind of halfway hold its shape just a little bit. And let's bring the top down just a little. Actually, we'll leave that top the way it is there, just so it still has that ring. And then we'll start smoothing. And of course, the more we smooth it, the more rounded it's going to get in the process. Something about like that. You can actually see we've got a pretty decent curved inward slope on it, which it actually comes out really nice. Now, I'm pretty sure that you guys can probably do something even better than what I can do here. I got the quick 5-minute tutorial last night on this, but even with a quick 5-minute tutorial, I was able to come up with this, so it's not too bad. Yeah. It should have posted it there, Daddy. Give me a second here. Let me make sure I'm it should be in here. Yeah. Go through that process if you're looking to actually get into the game, and that will hook you up. Now from here we can pretty much take this top section and this part right here, and I can just go ahead and delete that section out. Same thing with the bottom, and give me one moment here and we'll select this whole entire thing. And we'll just chop out the part that we actually want. So we'll take pretty much this. I think that'll do it. Control X to chop it. And then I'll bring this down and clear out my floor. Delete that. Control V, and we'll paste. Now we have a little bit of artifacting and deformations at the bottom, but once you pop it down on a piece of ground, then you can just take your smooth tool and just go along the edge and smooth it right on in, and there you go. You've got the beginnings of a Kirin tower. You can also come in here like this. I'm just going to roughly grab this whole top piece here. I can copy it, paste it, mirror it, and then we can pop that sucker right on the top, so we've got this really intricate, almost like an hourglass shape going on. Just a little bit of movement. Let's bring it down one. something about like that, and then we take our smooth tool and go right along that edge. If we can figure out exactly how wide this is, hold on a second. Looks to be about 22. So let's find us a circle that is 20, or excuse me, 11. 12. There we go.
Hey, Tim, if somebody's using your code on purchasing the game,
Okay.
do you know if that comes before or after they enter their credit card info?
At the same time. It should be on that same exact page. Oops. Zoom back in here. It should be on that exact same page as the credit card info, if I remember correctly. Alright, there we go. That should do it. Yeah, I do random raffles. I don't usually have one up until I go, hey, let's do a raffle. Alright. I'm going to sit a standard voxel right here in the center here, just to be playing around with this design, just to see what we can and can't do with it. Trying to see if it's actually fit right. Looks close enough for government work, so let's pop it in there. There we go. Put that one voxel in there, and then we'll go through and we'll smooth this up a little bit. Kind of go around the circle. So we got an interesting shape for something. And but with that, like I said, that this was something that was passed on to us by Raven Mad, and Rave was like, "Hey, you got to check this out," and I was like, "Okay," and yeah, quick 5-minute tutorial from from Rave, and he probably spent just about as much time with Raven Mad on it. And you can see this other shape that was created in the same fashion. It started low with a small one and then ended with a big one over here, and you can see the funky shapes that you can kind of come up with on this, but it gives a really cool effect. And yeah, and Raven Mad's been doing this technique since alpha, so works out pretty good. And I'm going to kind of show you Rave's kind of interpretation on it, and hopefully he doesn't get mad at me showing off his Karen tower here.
Oh, I don't mind.
But you can see how it goes from a gentle slope up to a like this, and then it comes back out. So the things that you can do with this type of a technique is actually pretty cool. So you can do pretty much the same thing. It all depends on the size of the circle that you actually work with, either on the inside or excuse me, at the bottom or at the top, and in what direction you want to go with it. So with that.